Ain't coming. Today. Sometime today, please. Jeez. Yeah. Assad fell. The Assad regime fell in a week.
Assad fell
a week.
After a lightning rebel advance. The head of the Syrian opposition war monitor says President Assad left the country for an undisclosed location. The official
there's conflicting reports that his plane crashed.
They entered Damascus after
actually, but I don't know if that's coming from actual reliable sources, but I heard that a couple of times.
To a transitional government.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart reporting.
Wow.
The fall of Syrian President Bashar's government has brought
a week they came. The rebels came in, and then they took Damascus in like a week. They took all the cities in a week, and there was next to no
a rather geeky, tech-savvy fan of computers.
Resistance.
A gentle demeanor. Also at townhall.com, TikTok loses a major case.
A federal appeals court is upholding a law.
I wonder who's behind that.
Sale or ban
that push.
TikTok in the U.S.
I don't think a right bunch of. I mean, they did it, but it had something behind it. Israel must have had something.
Israel,
maybe. The Americans or something. That's pretty good.
America or Israel.
Somebody.
The ruling denied TikTok's
I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually.
He was down to like 30% of his country. You know.
No, yeah, I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually because. Russia's too busy with Ukraine, and then you got Hamas and Hezbollah. They're destroyed.
Yeah,
they're destroyed. So
there's nothing that's not a threat.
I think.
But sometimes you have to.
I think.
TikTok and ByteDance are expected.
You know, you got the Facebook thing on?
I do.
There's just a lot of blunders and. You take advantage of them, you know what I mean?
But yeah, I'm surprised it fell that quickly.
Yeah.
The three major cities they took in under a week, or just about a week. And in Damascus, there was no fighting in Damascus.
Yeah, they knew.
They retreated. They retreated and put down their weapons.
Let's hope there's peace there now. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be very nice.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Just in case we get a phone call.
Nearly 3 out of 10 U.S. drugstores that were open during the previous decade had closed by 2021.
All right. Blue mic.
More, here's John Scott.
Up there.
A study published in Health Affairs says
No,
Black
you're
and
yellow
Latino
mic.
neighborhoods were most vulnerable to the retail pharmacy closures, which can chip away at already limited care options in those communities. Many drugstores are continuing to struggle, and the trend has potentially gained momentum since the study
The clock's off, huh?
Since 2021, major chains,
clock's off.
Walgreens, and
Yeah,
CVS have closed hundreds
Chris will
of
fix it
traditional
tomorrow, I
stores,
think.
And Rite Aid shrank as it went through a bankruptcy
No big deal.
reorganization. John Scott reports.
An explosion and fire has rocked the neighborhood of the Dutch city of The Hague, killing 3 and injuring other people and destroying several apartments. The cause of the disaster is unclear. A pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz are being auctioned off to the highest bidder. Heritage Auctions estimates the slippers will...
It's a sad thing what
or more. Breaking news at townhall.com.
People involved with the movie industry did to Julie Garland.
Kidnapping a woman from Michael Bloomberg's Colorado.
She was 16 or 17 when she did the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, they hooked her up.
And they hooked her up with barbiturates.
What about
They said some really nasty and mean things to her about her appearance and her weight.
The woman, I forgot her name, but the woman who played the witch.
Yeah.
They poisoned her with like all the
Yeah.
with all the makeup they put on her.
They the same thing with the Tin Man.
Yeah.
All the makeup that they had on caused an issue.
Survivors returned to the Hawaii military base for remembrance.
Good morning, Scott.
The attack's anniversary.
Scotty,
Over
how you feeling,
100 years
baby?
old. They joined active duty troops, veterans, and members of the public for
But yeah, it's disgusting what happened
Breaking news analysis
with
at
that,
townhall.com.
with all that
Yeah.
stuff at the Wizard of Oz, because it wasn't just Judy Garland; it was everybody else that was involved in it.
Buddy Epson was the Tin Man.
Yeah, yeah. I think he ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, they all did. Some sort of illness.
Yeah. No, who's that?
I forgot the name of the Wicked of the West.
Oh man, what was her name?
Yeah, Hamilton. Margaret Hamilton.
Margaret Hamilton. Yeah, she ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, something out there.
Yeah, stuff gone wrong.
Host Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news. Middleboro
Like,
news. Here I
something
am,
blew up or
1530
something.
WVBF.
And caused issues.
Yeah.
What's happening?
All right, blue mic and red mic are up.
That's it.
I got it. Well, we'll talk about that, okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is December 8th, 2024. We have open phone lines today. 508-822-1106 is the number. 508-822-1106 is the number. We will be joined by Ed Miller here in the second segment of the show today. So we'll have that coming up as well. I want to say good morning to Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. How are you?
Good, and I can't wait because we're going to be guests on Stand Up Strong.
Yes,
with Ed
noontime
Miller
today.
and Bishop Tony Branch. I love it. It's just like Christmas when I hang out with those guys. It's so good. We have so much fun, and yeah, it's such a good hour. I really feel humbled and honored when those guys ask us to sit on their show, and Ed Miller, like you said, will be in probably about 15-20 minutes for the second segment. It'll be awesome to have him.
Yes, so we're going to have him on
Can't wait.
in just a few minutes,
Yep.
so stay tuned for that. While we figure that out, we got the moment.
Yeah, there's a little black ice out there for anybody who's traveling early. This is a film on the parking lot here today. Main road seemed good. 44 was good. We live on Route 105. There was some snow spots on Route 105. So that's our traffic report for the way we came into work. But just take it a little easy, especially on the parking lots and the walking. It's just a little film of ice. We got a little dust in here and there in different areas of our town. But
Yeah,
it's
so we'll
mostly
start
Middleboro where I see the spotty snow. Like I said, the parking lot here hasn't been treated yet because it's so early, but parking lot, walking, the decks, the deck was covered with a little snow, the stairs. Just be careful this morning if you have to head out, just to give yourself a little bit more time and just make it to you where you need to make it safe.
All right, Taunton, 40 degrees, cloudy skies, 49 today. Can we say it's cloudy skies because the sun hasn't come up yet?
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
The sun has not come up yet. Yeah, according to Google, 40 degrees. 49 today for the high, 30 for the low. So all that snow will be gone by the end of the day today. Should be, at least. 48 degrees, rain tomorrow. If the snow's not gone today, it'll be gone tomorrow for sure because of the rain. 48 degrees, 41 for the low. And it's supposed to warm up by Wednesday. Wednesday is 62 degrees, a low of 36, but rain in the forecast. I don't understand. Every time during the winter, we get nice weather during the nice weather temperature wise during the winter. It rains.
Well, that's because the formation of the clouds and the moist weather probably come from the south, coming from warmer areas. So I mean, that's good because since Thursday we got that little bit of snow here and there. But everything froze and there's ice here and there, and it's tough for walking. So it's nice when something can come in and just melt all the ice. Because I always worry about people slipping on ice. Older people. I mean, older person slips on ice and hurts himself. I mean, sometimes that's enough to really have have a problem.
Absolutely.
With their life and stuff. So I always worry about ice. So when it and it's like aggravating ice in a way because it's just a little bit to make so you can slip on or have an issue or slide off the road. Like this morning, there's Route 105 has black ice. It's just, you got to go slow on black, or you'll be off the side of the road. It's just, it's not here. It's not the big storms. It's not all that snow. It's not all this and that. But I mean, the beginning of December, you get a lot of black ice. You have a friend who passed away.
Yes.
They what was it, 5-6 years ago? They were doing a play.
Yep.
And they crashed their cars in black ice. So I mean, it's just you really get. This is the time you really black ice. You really can't see the black ice. Black ice is so
It's very
tricky.
dangerous. Yes.
Black ice is tricky.
Very dangerous.
So, so if you're worried, then wait for the sun to come out. You know what I mean? But just be careful, please.
Middleboro, 42 degrees, cloudy skies, high of 50, a low of 30 today. Rain in the forecast tomorrow, 48 degrees, 41 for the low. And, of course, on Wednesday, 63 degrees with a low of 37. And it's supposed to cool down a little bit again. But it's supposed to be rather nice over the next couple of days. Driscoll, North Dakota, 35 degrees with cloudy skies, a high of 43 and a low of 25. A mix in the forecast today. Tomorrow and on Tuesday, below freezing both days. 27 on Monday, 23 on Tuesday, with a low on Tuesday night of 0 degrees. And a high on Wednesday of 0.
Oh, let me tell you, talking about Driscoll,
North Dakota, yes. Snow in the forecast Monday and Tuesday
Right.
in Driscoll, North
And
Dakota.
I like the idea you keep saying, like, Driscoll, North Dakota, like 6-7 times, just to let the listeners know that it's not here.
It's not here.
It's in Driscoll, North Dakota.
It does get pretty cold here, but I don't think it gets
let me
Driscoll,
say,
North Dakota cold.
It's funny how we always list those towns, and Driscoll, North Dakota always, like, falls off the cliff. It really does. Temperature-wise,
Yes,
oh
it
my
does.
God! I mean, it's
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes, it does. And Driscoll, Texas, 51 degrees. Rain in the forecast right now. 65 for the high. 85 tomorrow. Wow.
yeah.
In
Again,
December.
Driscoll, Texas. It's not here. It's a Driscoll,
Yeah.
Texas. Okay?
85 would be nice here, but I
Yeah,
don't think we're going to
yeah.
get that anytime soon, at least
Somebody
until
wakes
June.
up their hair like, it's going to be 85 tomorrow? No, in Driscoll, Texas. Let's say 11 times, please.
All right, and then before we take our commercial break, let's do our Today in Histories.
And we got Ed.
And Ed has arrived. Good morning, Ed.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Ah.
I'm sorry I was running a little late.
It's all right. We got to get our Driscolls out a little
I
bit.
know. People in Texas need to know. But you know, it's funny when I'm reading the or watching the forecast for next week. It's supposed to hit the 50s
Yes.
in December. Okay. And I said, well, I enjoy that because it's not 20
Right.
degrees. But it's like, it's December. I do expect December to be cold, not in the 50s. But the plus side, and being a homeowner, you all would understand, is at least you're not going to be using a lot of oil.
Yes.
Or gas, or however you heat your house.
Right.
You know, you're going to be able to, it's not going to be terrible. I do feel bad for my friends who, like, plow yards and, you know, do the landscaping and then they plow. Yeah,
Well,
it's part of their living.
Well, the landscape has kind of been on hold since like Thursday, Friday, because usually they do their leaf cleanups right up to, the end of December. So they got to be back full board tomorrow.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All the stuff's going to be gone, all the ice is gone, and they got to
Yeah.
be, you get leaf blowers, and they got to try to get their work done. But, I mean, just a little half an inch of snow we got on Thursday,
Yeah.
just enough to shut everyone down in that
Yeah.
department. And then, but the salters and sanders are out. The oil guys are out. I had to
Yeah.
do oil yesterday, the horror.
Yeah, those are long
They're
days
looking
for
for
sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for it. But
All right. 7:16. Let's take a commercial break now, and then when we come back, we'll do our today's history, so we can spend a little bit longer time on them.
Yeah. And don't forget the Paul Laz note.
Yes, we're going to talk about.
What love note is that? What number?
There's no number here, but
You got a number in
let's
your
say
notes?
we're going to talk about
All right, we'll talk about it.
we'll talk about the television station in Middleboro. No, the T station in Middleboro. There we go.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the current station
Yeah.
as well, and what the future is for that. It's a positive one. Well, sort of. It's
Yeah.
going to be kind of inactive, but it's not closing.
No.
And then other things as well. All right, we'll do that when we come back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM.
How's it going, Ed?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah? Man, it's a treat. You get up so early in the morning to come see us.
I work on Saturday night. I work a part-time job, so I get home around 10:30. So by the time I get to bed, it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So it's like that's the reason why I.
Yeah. What do you do?
I work security at a retail marijuana dispensary.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not a hard job.
Yeah.
Long day.
Yeah, I bet they're busy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're busy. They're popping up everywhere too.
Oh yeah.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as hobby.
Mark's in Little Rock.
To support those who have defended
I
our
don't know where they
country
go there
and
for,
freedoms.
but he's got food.
Focus is to help
Say do a
veteran
lot of
care
travel in this one.
facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members
Is Tony coming
continue to
today?
serve in the armed
Should be.
forces,
Oh, good.
with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate
About a minute.
in motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
God bless you. Hi, my name is Reverend Curtis Dias. I'm the senior pastor at Calvary Pentecostal Church, located at 33 Brayley Road in East Freetown. I just want to tell you that we love you and we pray that you grow in grace instead of disgrace. Our broadcasts are called To God Be the Glory, and we're on WVBF 1530 AM every Sunday morning from 10 to 11 o'clock. I hope that you enjoyed the service. God bless you.
Okay. Okay. There you go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we are back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106. If you have a question for me, Don, or Ed today, give us a call, 508-822-1106. There's a lot to talk about, I'm sure, here in the news, in the current events area of the news. A lot of things have gone on over the past week or so. There's a particular country in the Middle East that has going to have a leadership change, most likely, within the next few days. So there's that. That country is Syria. And then there's a lot going on with the Trump transition as well as we move towards the end of December and into January. He takes office January 20th, 2024. 2025, there we go, not 2024. And
You'll be writing 24 on your checks. Well, we don't write as much anymore, but I remember writing, the same date on your checks in January up until like 3 weeks into it.
Yes, I've done that before as well. But our today in histories, let's do the today in histories now. We have 1941, World War II. U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt declares December 7th to be a date which will live in infamy, after which the United States declares war on Japan. He has a speech in, I believe it was the House of Representatives?
Yeah, it was the House and Senate.
Yes, the House and Senate.
Yeah, it was the full. Yeah, everyone was there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had that speech where he said December 7th will be a date which will live in infamy, and then the U.S. declares war on Japan. The same day, Japanese forces simultaneously invade Shanghai International Settlement, Malaya, Thailand, Hong Kong, and the Philippines, and the Dutch East Indies. So that's what the Pearl Harbor wasn't the only place that they attacked as well. They also attacked most of the Pacific.
Yeah, it was a coordinated effort. Yeah, sure. I mean, they were ready to pounce, so then they did.
Yes. December the 8th, 1980, John Lennon is murdered by Mark David Chapman in front of the Dakota in New York City.
Yeah, you weren't born, but Ed, when I ask you a question, when you heard that, where were you? I mean, that's just one of those questions where you kind of know where you were when you
On
heard
September 11th?
No, on the 1980 when John Lennon was. Do you remember?
When I heard about it, I was still in high school.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was when I heard that.
Yeah, I heard it on the news.
Yeah.
I mean, it came on. I think it was Howard Cosell.
Yeah, there's a very
Howard Cosell. I think it was one of the. I think I was watching Monday Night Football.
Yes, there was
My
very
dad,
very famous clip of
That
that.
would have been then, yeah.
And Howard Cosell came on and told everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that was, how a lot of people found out. I mean, I'm sure there was other outlets, but Howard Cosell, it's funny,
All right, 1987, during the Cold War, the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty is signed by the United States President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev in the White House. 87, 88, those are really important years in the Cold War. In 86 as well. The second half of the 80s were really important. A bunch of important dates in the Cold War.
You're not saying here that the Soviets had to save face, but we crushed them economically because we made them invest in weapons, and their economy was just ruined because they couldn't keep up with our system.
Yeah.
And that's how we technically won the Cold War, is through economic means, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure.
Economically.
Yeah, investment economically.
2004, Columbus nightclub shooting. Nathan Gale opens fire at the Alarosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio, killing former Pantera guitarist Daryl Lance Abbott and 3 others before being shot by a police officer. That was really a sad day in metal history there.
Rock and roll,
the passing of the Pantera guitarist there. 2013, Metallica performs a show in Antarctica, making them the first band to perform on all 7 continents.
Yeah, probably the last 2.
I wonder how they did that. I wonder if it was a stage or what they did.
2 songs on an iceberg or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder how they did that.
Not much of an audience anyway, but hey, the Penguins were happy.
There you go,
clapping and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right, our birthdays. 65 BC. Horace, a famous Roman poet. A lot of his work, I think, is still around. I think a lot of his work was preserved.
Yeah, he's not around.
Obviously he's not around. But I think a lot of his work has been preserved.
Yeah.
And he was, again, a famous Roman poet in the Roman Empire there. 1894, E.C. Seeger, American cartoonist. He created the show. Well, not the show, but he created the character Popeye, which eventually became a show, which eventually became a movie, Popeye,
with Robin
Williams, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that really brought Popeye back into the forefront when he did that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't a big Popeye guy, but I thought Robin Williams did a pretty good job on that. I think he did really
and they actually panned the movie, and it didn't do well.
Really?
And I thought he was great in that. I thought Shelley Duvall did well too. And I think the whole cast.
I think it's timing on some of these movies, because not to change the subject, but talking Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner had to say, I want to go work on a couple westerns. Horizon, and the first one didn't do too well. I think it was just the timing.
And I don't know about the second one, but there's supposed to be 4 of them altogether. Yeah. But who knows if that's going to happen since the first one didn't do well.
Well, I mean, I think it's timing. I mean, I'll tell you one thing about Howard Stern. He put out Private Parts. He was going to put it out in 1999. 1997 it was supposed to come out, but it was going to come out the same week when George Lucas was going to repeat all the Star Wars and the new and improved Star Wars, and he's like, I can't compete with that. So they bumped it up too much, which was smart because that movie ended up doing pretty well. So I mean, it's all about timing.
All right, 1925. Sammy Davis Jr., American actor, singer, and dancer. Candyman.
Oh, I love that song.
Also part of the Rat Pack as well.
Yep. And he's, you know what? If you like Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra, D. Martin, and stuff like that, one of the last movies they all played together was Cannonball Run.
Yes.
But those Cannonball Run movies are so much fun to watch. They're really fun.
Jim Morrison, American singer and songwriter and poet. He was born on this day in 1943. He would have been 81 today. Of course, the singer of The Doors. Passed away at the age of 27. 1944, Ted Irvine, Canadian ice hockey player. He played for several teams, including the Rangers and the Bruins as well. His playing career was from 1963 to 1977. You might know, wrestling fans, you might know his son, Chris Irvine, there as well. But Ted Irvine, his birthday is today. He is 80 today. So there's that. We have Greg Allman, born on this day in 1947, American musician as well, from the Allman Brothers. 1968, Michael Cole, American sportscaster and journalist. He's a broadcaster for WWE. He's been a broadcaster for WWE for a very long time. I think since like the mid '90s, I think, or early '90s. And he used to work for. I think he used to work for a television station before then, and he went overseas a couple times. I think for this this television station as well. I've seen old clips of him reporting on news as well. 1973, Corey Taylor, American singer, songwriter, and musician and actor, singer of Slipknot, singer of Stone Sour, and also he did an album. He was a part of an album with Zakk Wylde as well. And that's really cool, and you should check that out.
Yeah, they did one song called Sleeping Dogs. Which is pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. 1975 and 1977, both NASCAR drivers here. 1975, Kevin Harvick, American race car driver, and 1977, Ryan Newman as well, also in NASCAR. In 1981, this is one Ed will know because the Patriots have faced him many a times during the Brady era, and that is Phillip Rivers. His birthday is today. He's 43 today. And our passings, 1885, William Henry Vanderbilt, American businessman and philanthropist, Don, very, very important figure in the railroading business.
Yeah. He started in shipping, and then he went on the railroads.
Yes.
Because there was more money in railroads.
1982, Marty Robbins, American singer, songwriter, and race car driver. And 2016, John Glenn, American astronaut and senator, first American to go into orbit.
Yeah, he was a senator for a while for Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, us.
How long?
I know it's well over 20 years.
Yeah.
A little bit of an interesting thing here. They were, CNN, I believe, this was CNN, they were interviewing him on September 11th, 2001, the morning of September 11th, 2001. He was on there, I think it was around 8 o'clock. He was on there doing an interview with CNN about the new Capitol, at the time, the new improvements of the Capitol building that were taking place in 2001. And he was doing interviews on that. On the morning of September 11th. All right, it is 7:30. Let's take our news break, and we'll be right back. And we'll have more with Ed.
Yeah.
And, yes.
Pick Ed's brain here and talk about, what do you want to talk about? Anything you want?
Anything you want to talk about. I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right,
but one of the things is because I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
And I know neither of you do. But I want to talk about why are they having so much problems with the capsules NASA.
Yeah.
The one that they're trying to use now is Northrop Grumman, which is a company we all know.
Right.
And then there's the three main ones. They're one of them. Why can't they get the astronauts off the where they're at the International Space Station? We've been in space before. We've been to the moon before, allegedly.
Yeah.
I have to say allegedly, and I've always believed we were there. But we know how to do it.
Yeah.
But we can't get there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Greyhound. The bus didn't show up for him, you know?
Yeah. And I know there's more into it, and I'm kind of teasing the subject.
Stuck somewhere in Minnesota in
Yeah.
January waiting for a bus that never shows
I'd
up.
rather be stuck in Minnesota in the winter because
Yes.
I can find. Where do you go when you're in a space station? You were planning to be in space for what? A few days. They're there 6 months. Are they ever going to leave? And that's why I want to talk about. That's been interesting. That's been just because we've been there before.
Maybe it's going to be
not getting to Mars.
Maybe it's going to be a Salvage One moment. Do you ever the show Salvage One with Andy Griffith?
Oh yes.
Okay,
yes,
he was the junk guy,
Yeah,
and
he
NASA
was.
was a problem, and they had to call him up to rescue somebody up there or whatever. So I mean,
he built a space rocket.
yeah,
go to wherever
and scrap everything and make money.
Yeah.
It's in like 10 episodes.
In his barn.
In his barn, exactly.
Oh, I remember
maybe we need a Salvage One Andy Griffin moment with you know, maybe someone's out there. Or the Astronaut Farm, another show with Billy Bob Thornton, another movie, which is cool. So.
Yeah. All right, 7:33. Let's take our news break, our quick little news break, about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back here on Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
See, I don't know why they got rid of the shuttle program. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know why they should have
Taylor,
put that on.
Syria's government has fallen after opposition fighters say they entered Damascus following a stunning advance.
I can't believe that.
Very stunning because there was no resistance at all, zero.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. This all came out of nowhere. Well, they don't have the Hezbollah fighters in the country helping out. The Russians are all gone.
Hezbollah and Hamas, all gone.
Yeah.
And
Well, Hamas was mostly Gaza.
Yeah.
But I mean, Hezbollah was everywhere else.
Oh yeah, no. They're seriously weakened.
Yeah.
Russia has like fronts everywhere. They couldn't be in Syria.
Yeah.
So they left also because they took over the land that the U.S. had when they were basically defending the Kurds.
This is SRN.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think everyone's got little pockets of like.
So are they there and just not doing it?
Well, they're probably not enough people.
And Syria and Assad have always been under the Russian Federation protection.
Yeah.
Well, he's lost 750,000 in the Ukrainian war.
Choose the company I trust.
And he's not doing well
Endurance.
there.
No matter
No.
the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental.
Sometimes when you see a president going out,
any plan. Endurance
they do
handles
unbelievable
everything,
things
from
for
making
some
the
reason. They
claim
just
to paying the
Well, now they can
things all
yours.
snap together.
Act
You know
now.
what I mean? Then you're like, wow, oh my god.
When you're at the end and you're leaving and you don't have to worry about being reelected, you don't have to. I agree with that.
That's why I think they should have one 6-year term. And that's it. That's it. Yeah, 6 years. That's all you can run for president instead of this 8-year stuff. Just you get 6 years and you can't run again. I think that would take a lot away from their job performance, in my opinion, because they spend a lot of time trying to get reelected. I mean, they go 3 years and they spend a year trying to get reelected, so technically it's about 6 years. I mean, same with the vice president. You know, unless you die, you're president. If not, you can run again as vice president, but not during the cycle. Because it just takes away from what they need to do in the people. You know what I'm saying? Says J.D. Vance, whatever. he has to run again later, 4 years later, on his own as president. I mean,
Yes.
I don't think anyone want a vice president job, I guess, if not going to be president. But they could be. I mean, look at Nixon, look at Biden. They came back and were presidents after being vice president.
Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support. Please visit CVMA2.
All right, we are free and clear the rest of the way. Yeah, we're gonna be free and clear the rest of the way. This is my second commercial break I'm doing right now, so free and clear the rest of the way. I'll just rapid fire these questions here. Let's see. Will there be a covered waiting area for riders? I think, yeah. So.
You're listening to WBBF 1530
figure that out.
AM
Yeah.
and 99.7 FM.
I want to say something real quick before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back here on, excuse me, 1 second. All right, and we're back here on Middleboro in review. Yawning there for a moment.
More coffee.
I apologize. More coffee, yes. We'll switch it over to Don real quick. He wants to say something.
Real quick, we have a friend of mine who, friend of us, Joey and I, his name's Scott, and he's a big Beatles, everything Beatles. And he said he heard it from Howard Cosell too during the game. I think we all did. And that's just want to run that. But he's the Beatles. He's the one who got me into the Beatles 3 times. Right? Got me. Ringo, Harrison.
All right, we have our questions here from Paul Lazarowicz this morning. Got a couple today. We have number 1. When will the new Middleboro Tea Station open? I'll give the short answer, and then Don can give maybe a little bit more of a detailed answer. Short answer is May 2025. Don, give us a little bit more of a detailed answer on that.
Probably August 2025.
But yeah, it's ready.
It's been ready.
It's been ready for a while.
They're sitting there burning all that electricity for something that's not being used.
And so has every other station on the line. It's been ready, but they're still doing other things.
They don't have a switch to shut all the power off. It seems everyone's worried about global warming and running all this electricity that it's not. And maybe they can't shut it off. All right, what's number 2?
Number 2, when will the current station close? Never. At this point, there is no station close date at all for the current station.
Well, because of Cape Flyer.
Because of Cape Flyer. So
and plus, maybe they have those stations, Wareham Village and Buzzards Bay. I mean, they're like temporary stations, but I mean, they could start running trains down to at least Buzzards Bay or Wareham.
Yeah, if the Cape is serious about
not even the Cape, just not even the Cape. The Cape's a loser. Try to get over that bridge every time. It's not going to work.
No, yeah, if the state is very serious about extending area all the way to Wareham area,
they need a South Middleboro station, probably Rock Village somewhere.
Yep.
And then they got the Wareham built, and then
where they go out of.
Okay.
That's where they would go out of the old station. All right. Will there be a covered waiting area for riders?
No,
there better be.
No, there is.
There is. Yes. No, there is. Absolutely, 100% there is. For every station, including the Taunton station. The Taunton station took a while because it is definitely more involved than all the other stations.
Got a question for Ed here, and it's a financial question here. They have Middleboro Lakeville. They have all that land. All right. Do you think the T should sell it?
The T should sell it?
I mean, if it's not going to be used every day, use, once a week in the summer until they have a new line. I mean, they could pick temporary people up on a mini platform over at the junction at the current station. But, I mean, the state has no money, so sell it to developers.
I wouldn't have an issue with that, but are there any... First, you would have to find people who would be interested to move into that area, and what type of business would be.
Well, I'd say more housing because of the housing that's there already. Because
And that could always be, especially in the eastern part of Massachusetts, we do have a housing crunch.
right.
So I could definitely see housing. And when housing moves in, when people move in, business moves in.
Well, there's your Fair Communities Act as far as the MBTA, because I feel bad for a lot of people who bought condos around the T, thinking, okay, we got a train station, you know, and then they go and move it.
Yeah.
You know, so they could build like a pedestrian bridge over Route 28 and under 495. And if there was a connector, you could walk to the new train station. That'd be ideal. But people aren't gonna walk down the hill and then walk underneath. You know, it's not. And then what? You gotta run a bus. You know, you might as well just have golf carts out there. In my opinion.
All right. Switching from transportation here. I wish there was more transportation, but well, it's kind of quiet. You know, we're kind of getting towards the part where the part of the year where we're almost done with the slow zones. Talking about the slow zones, there's 2 left, and that work is actually, I think it's being done as we speak. I think the closure has begun on, I believe it was with the Green Line, right?
They got a month,
Yep. So, they believe that the most recent closure has started. So, on the Green Line there, and it will be closed for about a week or so to facilitate that work and get that done.
Maybe
and then they'll be done.
might pull it off.
That might be done. But switching over from transportation to a topic that me, Don, and Ed were talking about during the last commercial break was NASA. Ed, what do you got on that?
Well, it's more just questions because, and as I said, and I semi-joke, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do believe we've been in outer space. I do believe we've been on the moon. But the thing is, why are we having so much issues? Now, one of the things is they're trying to build the rockets and the shuttles, or whatever they're using, and the capsules cheaper. Finding ways to make it cheaper. You know, maybe you can't do it cheaper. You have to do it a certain way. You are in outer space. You are in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Doing it cheaper is like, it's like saying, oh yeah, well we can build houses cheaper if we stop doing protections that you need.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, and I know I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but you have to kind of look at that. And why in 6 months we couldn't find and send up one rocket? Now it seems like the 3 main companies is Northrop Grumman, SpaceX, and Boeing. And Boeing should just go out of business, or someone should buy it to change it over, because they're just useless right now.
They got a major PR problem
right now. PR. The planes are, the doors are still falling off the planes. They're having, you know, why? Because they're trying to make planes cheaper. And you have SpaceX, as much as he's trying to create a rocket to bring down the capsules and capture them. They've had 8 tests. They succeeded in 1, where they actually caught everything else. They had self-destruct or have the rocket they're using to catch the other capsules crash in the sea or explode because they were over land because they're done incorrectly and they're not working. But we're still working on it, and that's an issue. I mean, I don't have all the inside information. I'm just reading what's in the news. But when, 7 out of 8 times, it just means to me that one time it was just sheer luck. It's just out of statistics says when you flip a coin, you're going to do better because 50% of the time you do it enough. When 1 out of 8 times you succeeded, you not succeeded.
Yeah, but in a year from now it'll be 1 out of 4, and then you ever watch some of the videos?
It could be, but he's been working on this for a couple of years now anyway, and it's just not working.
It's a hard feat. I mean,
and I don't say it's difficult. I mean, it is difficult. But it's failing. So where's it failing?
Well, I want to say one thing here, Ed. Why did they get rid of the space shuttle program? I mean, I know they could have made new shuttles. That was like one of the best they had the payload, they could land, they could do all this. The space
Well,
shuttle.
it was funding. It was funding of the space program because the companies that were building it were building them correctly. With you have to fly off the back of a plane.
Right.
You can't really blast off or be put on hundreds of thousands of gallons of rocket fuel. But you have to. But they can land, even though I heard it says like trying to land a brick building. They still could land.
Right.
That's the problem they're having now, because they want to reuse the shuttles, and if they, supposedly you crash in the ocean or land in the ocean, they're really not that usable after that. But it's not working, and that's something they really have to, because I do believe we have to expand into the stars.
Yep.
Just on the thing of just knowledge.
Well, what they're gonna have to do, and its only way to work, is to build a ship up there. I mean, build a ship up there, and have a ship that can't land. I mean, it will always be in orbit.
And look at science fiction. I mean, science fiction is fiction, but many things that were science fiction are now staples, mainstay staples.
Yeah.
And even in the science fiction, where they're building a large ship, they're building it in space. They're not building it in space docks here, on land.
Well, they got the gravity problem. You know what I mean?
But when you're talking science fiction, you could do anything you want.
Right. But I mean,
but it is based in some type of.
Well, look at the
theory.
ships. Look at the ships they've done in the science fiction shows. Space 1999, for instance, the Eagle. Remember the Eagle?
Oh yeah.
The way that was set up, it was long, or you can shorten it up. Okay, that was something I think you could take off. I mean, in their theory, in their world. Then you have the Enterprise, which I think was something that probably couldn't land.
Yeah.
Then you got Galactica, which you never ever be in. And then you got so all the ships we've seen growing up, I'm sure there's some truth to some of them, as far as something that's really can work. And it's just, Captain Kirk with his phone, his flip phone.
Desktop computers. They had that in the 60s, in the show, of course.
Yeah.
That was science fiction.
Right.
Because computers back then, and even going into the 80s, were the size of multiple floors in a building.
Right.
But now look at it now.
What's funny, I'm looking at your phone, the Apple or whatever you got there, right? Mine, Joey's.
Yeah.
And we just look at it as we get everything we want, but how big are the server farms that run all this?
Yeah.
I mean, how much energy does all the server farms for everyone in the country almost to have a phone? I mean, you can go to a 6-year-old little girl and she's probably got a phone.
A good example of a movie that shows off the technology and how impressive it was in the 80s is War Games. Just an impressive movie.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick's in it. Ali Sheedy is in it. Check it out. Great movie.
Daphne Coleman.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
Check it out. It's just impressive.
No, it's just funny. I think at one point, the stars will align as far as the space age. Right
Absolutely.
now, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone should be working together. And now it's like the railroads in the 1800s. It's just like one of those things. You know what I mean?
All right.
Well, one of the problems is they had with the space program back then, it was the cost. I mean, back in the 60s, if I remember my reading correctly, we invested 3 to 5% of the whole national budget. Now going back into politics, a lot of the things that people don't like that they're saying we're spending money in the social programs, I'm calling them social programs, it's actually, that's 3% of our whole budget that helps the whole country or hurts it, however you look at it. Our whole space program took 3 to 5%. And that was it was the cost. And remember, back then we didn't have the huge tax breaks for the richest 1% and for the richest 1% of the corporations. They were paying taxes into that. You could never do that today, ever, because we have a $35 trillion deficit. How are we going to do a space program and put 3 to 5%?
All right. Before we get to our last topic of the day, a couple of new PSAs. There we go. We got a couple of things going on. Brockton today at 11:30 a.m. Paws and Pages, American Animal Protection Center of Southeastern Massachusetts, 1300 West Elm Street extension. On the second Sunday of every month. Today is the second Sunday. APCSM invites youth to build their confidence in reading, practice empathy, and comfort the animals by reading to them. To participate, register and bring a monetary item donation. A monetary or item donation. Again, that is 11:30 a.m. this morning in Brockton. Coming up later on today at noon is the Christmas parade in Taunton. That starts on Broadway and ends at City Hall. Again, that is today at noon. Lights on buttons required for indoor activities for the Lights On festival there. Currently available for sale at a number of locations. Buttons cost $5 and are not required for children 12 and under. Mayor's office, that's going to be at City Hall, 15 Summer Street. Parks and Rec office, 170 Harris Street. Taunton Federal Credit Union, 14 Church Street. The Taunton Performing Arts Center, 21 Main Street. And the Taunton Public Library, 12 Precinct Street as well.
Are those all buttons you could have got yesterday or today?
I think these are for the Lights On Festival.
That was yesterday.
No, the Lights On Festival?
Yeah, last night.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then
Okay.
just disregard that.
Take your time machine, walk back, and then whatever
No,
Joey
is
said.
it blue here?
No, well, it was on.
I'm trying.
It was on
looking
last
at the.
night. It was last
Yeah,
night.
I'm looking for the color coding.
No, they had the Lights On Festival, and
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just disregard that.
Yeah, that's
We have a 5th annual gingerbread decorating contest Monday, December 9th, and closes on Friday, December 20th. Submit photos to gingerbread at taunton-ma.gov. No professional entries, please. Photo entries can be shared on City of Taunton Facebook page. Winners, adult and child categories will be announced on Tuesday, the 23rd of December. New in 2024, there we go. Winter Wonderland at Liberty and Union Park. Lights On Festival, 2 weekends. On the 2 weekends following the Lights On Festival, there we go. December 13th to the 15th and December 20th to the 22nd, Liberty and Union Park will be transformed into a winter wonderland. As well, there will be musical entertainment, ice sculpting, food vendors, and much, much more. So, again, disregard the thing I said about the Lights On Festival because that was
here in the city of Taunton. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Can it for Christmas? We collect non-perishable items along the Taunton Christmas parade. That is today again at noon. You can contact Delaney Rasmussen at DelaneyRasmussen3618@gmail.com with any questions. Again, they'll be doing that for the parade today. What else is going on? We have a Jubilate Choral concert at the Christ Congregational Church, 1350 Pleasant Street, today at 3 p.m., and that is in Brockton. For more information, visit jubilatesings.org. They'll present Love's Pure Light. Join Murray Kidd, conductor and artistic director James Hay, and the principal pianist and special guests as well from the Rose Conservatory and Severian. By the way, congratulations to the Severian football team for winning another championship, by the way.
It was all last week, the folk who would have.
Yes. Well, actually, we'll get to that in a second. Well, we're going to talk about something else, but we'll talk about the MIA football thing coming up here in a second. Dan Bales, benefit fundraiser for Dan Bales at the Holy Ghost Society Hall, 545 Middleboro Ave, East Taunton, December 8th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's coming up again today from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And that is, again, at the Holy Ghost Society Hall at 545 Middleboro Ave in East Taunton.
Wow, is that it?
No.
Yeah. Okay. What you got?
Tri-Transit for holidays. All Gatra buses will be free for the holidays.
Nice.
Now through Tuesday, the 31st of December. This only applies to Gatra fixed bus routes and complimentary ADA paratransit services. This does not apply to a senior dial-a-ride or microtransit. You can visit gatra.org or call 800-483-2500 for more information there as well. And
we're going to be out of time before you're done.
That's it.
All
right, MIAA. Let's see. Let's get to that real quick. MIAA. Let's get to that. We were going to talk about some of the current events going on, especially the big current event that's been going on this week, which was the fall of Syria. But we don't have much time left in the show
ask
today.
you something though.
Yes, so ask that while I get the MIAA thing up.
The transition team, as far as Trump, do you like any of these picks that he has? I mean, in your opinion, I know you probably talk about it on your show.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Actually, I wish I had the names. There was the Secretary of Labor. I find interesting. She was a former representative, but she did vote for the PRO Act, which is a pro-union act, though it hasn't passed. She did. And I am going to say one thing and put a caveat there. It's very easy to vote for something you know is not going to pass. But she's always been a pro-union Republican. I find her interesting of her being picked because I'm going to say that from Trump on down, they're not very pro-union. The one I find is the Secretary of the Treasury. I'll have to look at. I know I have it in my notes.
Yeah.
And the only reason is I'm wondering why the far right, the MAGA group, the QAnon group, aren't taking a fit over it because for decades he worked for George Soros and his company and made hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't have anything against that, but it's George Soros. His influence is George Soros. I'm surprised they haven't come up with all these conspiracy theories that, he ate puppies and cooked children or whatever, because it's George Soros.
Right.
And he is the enemy of QAnon. I'll go into that on my show. But that one I find interesting. I think he's in Wall Streeter. He's an inside Wall Streeter.
Right.
That's who you pick for your treasury. That's what you pick for on that. I'm not surprised. I'm only surprised of his background.
Well, you could be talking about.
And I want to go Pam Bondi. I look at it this way. I didn't like Bill Barr, but he was experienced. It doesn't policy-wise. Maybe we don't agree, but he was experienced for the job he did.
Right.
I'm going to say Pam Bondi is experienced for the job that she is brought into, which is, I'm going to piss a lot of people off, surprising, because we're not seeing a lot of that. The only question I have is, back when she was the Attorney General of Florida, Texas, Florida, and a few other states, and the federal government were taking Donald Trump to court on his Trump University.
Yeah.
He donated $25,000 to Pam Bondi, and the investigation went away. I mean, I know I'm stretching it out. Maybe it should have went away for Florida.
But that's what they gotta find.
Same thing happened in Texas, though. I'm going to joke around a little. Women get paid less. That's not a joke. I think he donated $40,000 to whoever was Attorney General in Texas.
Yeah.
So actually, he paid Pam Bondi less. It wasn't because she was a woman or was that. I'm sorry, I am joking around about that, but that's a stretch. But to me, did the donation make the case go away, or did the case should have gone away?
Well, it makes it juicy.
But these are the things you're there to protect the people who who were screwed out.
Right.
I know. I see Joey's expression,
Yeah,
so I'm going to end it there.
So much for the football. You didn't have
we're gonna blow through these. All right, Division 1, Siberian.
Well, Cats aren't playing, so there's no football today.
Yeah, no, there wasn't.
Philadelphia's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so there's.
Oh, by the way, we're
games.
going to be on Stand Up Strong at 12.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So stay tuned for that. 12 o'clock. All right. MIAA football, real quick. Severian versus Needham. Severian winning 14-7. Division 1. Severian back to back. Division 2. Catholic Memorial 39-21 against King Philip. Division 3. North Attleboro defeating Mansfield 35-0. Division 4. Situate 29-13 over Duxbury. Division 5, 14-0. Shawshing Tech over Foxborough. Huge loss there for Foxborough. Division 6, Hudson 21, Fairhaven 14. Division 7, Uxbridge defeating Mashpee 42-20. And Division 8, West Boylston has gone back-to-back 22-16 over Randolph. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Anyone in Taunton who's going to the parade, enjoy the parade.
But if you're not going to the parade, listen to Stand Up Strong at
Yes.
12 o'clock with Ed Millett and Tony Branch.
Yes, that's coming up at noon. And thank you, Ed, for coming on today. And thank you, Don, for being here as always. And
Texture over here in the
we'll
corner.
be going to Bread of Life in just a few minutes. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming, Ed.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. So we get to talk transition, pretty much.
We're going to talk about that.
And local stuff.
Yeah, still about the
Studios at 14 Church Green. We are
school department isn't paying their bills.
They haven't been paying their bills.
It's been a while, but now it's getting to the point where they're owing, I think the last count is $9 million.
They just don't have the money to pay it, I just don't want it.
No one has the money to pay it. Try to get it from the city. I gotta read, I think the city voted on it last week.
Amen.
They,
Bye, everybody.